and opinions expressed by the hosts of Black Talk Radio News and any guest represents their views and their views only, and do not necessarily represent views of the Black Talk Media Project or the Black Talk Radio Network. Scotty Reid here with a Black Talk Radio News commentary. On this particular commentary, we are going to look at an enemy of the people, and I'm talking about Donald Trump. And he has made himself clear that he is unfit to be the president of the United States of America. He may be fit to be the CEO of that evil corporation known as USA Inc. because he is not interested in his oath of office to obey the laws and uphold the Constitution of the United States. So if you have not heard his latest comments, he gave a speech in New York to the All Lives Matter crowd, a law enforcement crowd, and I'm on the Washington Post, and I'm going to scroll down and just share with you some of the things that he said. Now, these comments right here is particularly troubling. Now, he said that President Donald Trump appeared to advocate rougher treatment of people in police custody during a speech in New York. Trump spoke dismissively of arresting officers who protect suspects' heads while putting them in police cars in a speech in front of law enforcement on Long Island. He said, "You can take the hand off," drawing cheers from his audience. Trump also claimed that laws are written to protect the criminal and not the officers. He told the law enforcement officials that the laws are stacked against you and need to be changed. So what laws are you talking about specifically? Okay, what part of the Bill of Rights does this man not understand? I wonder if the man has ever read the United States Constitution. Okay, so he is openly advocating for police officers to harm citizens. Doesn't matter if you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, that your arrest does not implicate guilt. It certainly does not. But in practice, you are guilty until you are able to prove yourself innocent. The United States is in the trash. It always has been in the trash. We're talking about an institution, and I'm talking about law enforcement that started as the slave patrols of the British colonies here on this continent, and then they were transformed into the first police forces. New York is one of the oldest, along with Boston. And what was their job? To enforce slavery. People, that's their job today. The 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution does not abolish slavery. It leaves it in place as punishment for so-called crime. And they write all of these laws criminalizing people behavior that are not crimes in other countries and were not always crimes on this country. But when you have the world's largest prison population full of cheap slave labor, then it is evident what they are doing. It should be evident to people, but this is an affront to the American people. I'm not going to get into what many people would like it to turn into, this black versus white thing. No, this is the American citizens against a tyrant, okay? And I have seen some of you rednecks out there organizing against racism and saying that it's okay to embrace gun culture, but racism is not okay. So people would like it to turn into a black versus white thing, but that can only occur if we feed into the narrative that they would like us to feed into. I'm speaking to everyone who is hearing the sound of my voice as an American citizen. All right. As an American citizen, I come from a military family. I served 6 years in the U.S. Army, served 6 months, and actually went on advance party in the Gulf War. This is unacceptable. This man should be impeached. Articles of impeachment should be drawn up right now. This man is failing to adhere to the oath of office, and he is giving thugs with badges, modern day slave catchers, a license to brutalize the American people. Do y'all not recall history? Do y'all not recall how the American Revolution started? When British soldiers were brutalizing American colonists, and a brave man by the name of Crispus Attucks, along with other colonists, confronted the British soldiers who had abused and manhandled a teenage colonist at the time. That turned into police brutality. It turned into an excessive use of force, okay? And they murdered those American colonists, and that is what sparked the American Revolution. Is this what this man wants to happen? Is what we are left with when you have the CEO of the USA Inc., the so-called president of the United States, telling other people who are sworn to uphold the law that you don't have to obey the law? This even goes to his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, who said that he wasn't going to worry about the American people's civil rights being violated by these cops, that he wasn't going to go after them and prosecute them. Okay? People, they are wanting anarchy. They are wanting chaos. They are wanting a race war. But I say to you, as an American, do not fall for these race baiters like Donald Trump, like Alex Jones, like those people over there at the NRA. This man is trampling on the ideals. It doesn't matter that it does matter, but we know the hypocrisy of this nation when it comes to freedom and liberty. But we don't have to keep it on that path. We can divert it to actually putting the ideal of liberty and justice for all into practice. And by him saying this, he is going to get some cops killed. Okay? Have they not learned anything that people are only going to take so much? And we got Baton Rouge as an example. We got Dallas as an example. And years before that, with Christopher Dorner, we had LA as an example. All of these were veterans. Okay? All of these were veterans. And he's going to get possibly innocent cops killed. And now I know a lot of people say, and I tend to agree with, that there are no good cops in the system of slavery. But I don't believe that every single police officer out there means to do people any harm. Many of them possibly aren't even aware that the 13th Amendment did not abolish slavery, and that is what their job is to round up new slaves for the world's largest prison population that has over 1,000 American corporations profiting off the labor of these men and women. Many of them, the majority of them, in prison over nonviolent, victimless crimes. Okay? So he is going to cause cops to get killed. The spirit of freedom and liberty lives in the people here in the United States. And they're only going to take so much. Now, it is good to see that the New York County where Trump appeared to give these cops a license to beat up people, to beat up detainees, to beat up suspects, to beat up innocent people who have not had their day in court. And even if they are guilty, you are not supposed to beat them. That's why we have a court of law. That is why we have constitutional supposed protections. It's been a while since they've been protecting our rights, people. They are robbing us, as you may have heard, of Jeff Sessions expanding the federal asset and seizure program, which is actually illegal in the state of North Carolina and outlawed, but they have written in loopholes to allow them to get around that. And they are robbing American citizens of their property, of their currency, of their hard-earned fruits, of their labor, without ever charging them with the crime. That's the America we live in, not the America that they tried to get you to believe that you live in. No, We have too much evidence that this has become a cesspool. Now, Trump went up there talking about draining a swamp when he took a swamp with him. This is an affront to the ideals of liberty and justice. So I'm going to read a little bit from the Associated Press update. It says the police department in the New York County where President Donald Trump appeared to advocate rougher treatment of suspects is condemning the practice. The Suffolk County Police Department said it has strict rules and procedures for how prisoners should be handled. It says violations of those rules and procedures are treated extremely seriously. The police department added, "We do not and will not tolerate roughing up prisoners." It released a statement after Trump spoke at Suffolk County Community College about efforts to crack down on illegal immigration and violent crime, including by the MS-13 street gang. So again, this man is in direct violation of his oath of office. He should be impeached. All right, enough with this Russian witch hunt and all of that garbage. I mean, from what I can see, it is nothing but baseless allegations. This is what the opposition of so-called resistance should be calling this man out on, but I don't hear the calls. But I want to commend this police department, the Suffolk County Police Department, for rebuking this man's words in your county to your officers, and shame on those people who applauded this garbage. What do you want? All out war in the streets? If that's what you want, you know there are plenty of people with guns out here, and many of us have been trained in the military, and we believe in that oath of office to protect American citizens from all enemies, foreign and domestic. These are the words of a tyrant. Okay? And then he also is a person who is very vain, who is very vulgar. And if you are going to mount an operation against such a large criminal organization like MS-13, why would you announce that? Why would you announce that? Why would you not take them by surprise? Why would you put officers' lives at risk by way of preemptive strikes that these gang members may launch against police? This man don't care about your lives. And I'm saying to any police officers, enough is enough. Not enough of you are standing up. Some of you have stood up. Some of you have protested against the patterns and practices, especially there in New York, where you had a group of officers come together and tell the people of New York City that we are the predators and you are the prey. They're forcing us to do these things. They're giving us illegal quotas to force you. Again, people, slavery was never abolished. It has been too profitable. And it is you, the average American citizen, that is paying, okay? You are paying for modern day slavery, providing this cheap slave labor to these American corporations who won't even give you a job or pay you a living wage. So I'm calling on you cops. If you call yourself a good cop, you need to stop covering up for the murderers and the racists in your ranks. You know that you know who they are, and you know that they exist. Either you believe in the ideals of liberty and justice for all, or you don't. And you're just nothing but a modern day slave catcher. This cannot go unanswered. People, y'all need to organize. You need to organize, and I don't mean along racial lines. We need Americans standing up for all of our rights. What do we want this place to be for our future generations, for our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren? This is disgusting. This has been Scotty Reid with a Black Talk Radio news report and commentary. Remember, you can find our broadcasting home at blacktalkradionetwork.com. Join our social media community at btrcommunity.com. Follow us on Facebook at Black Talk Radio Network. Follow us on Twitter at Black Talk Radio and make a donation today to the U.S.-based nonprofit Black Talk Media Project. This is Scotty. I'm out. Peace.